Hey everyone, it's me, the Spiffy Eater of Worlds, and welcome back to another video, where today I'm going to be reviewing the very sexy Elden Ring DLC. So sit back, relax, and hey, enjoy this brilliant cinematic I made based on all the cutscenes in the DLC, which there isn't enough of, and we'll get into the amazing, and I do say amazing, review of this beautiful, beautiful game. Slash DLC. Slash Miyazaki's dream. But Spiffy, the DLC is too hard. The DLC is too difficult. The DLC is too hard. Bad game. I spent 8 hours fighting Mesmer. Shut! Okay, guys. Why are you guys saying the DLC is too hard? Anyone who's still saying this obviously doesn't have enough determination to play a Souls game. Miyazaki, my grateful lord, made a pretty good statement on this. I'll link it in the description. But essentially, Souls games are meant to be hard. If the DLC was too easy, people would have still complained. Why are you guys complaining about a Souls DLC being hard when the entire point of a Souls game is being hard and difficult, a challenge to overcome? Like, come on, man. Why are you even playing it if you didn't expect a challenge? Sure, Elden Ring might have been the easiest before the DLC dropped, but come on. Why do you not want to spend time getting better at a game that you love? Why would you just quit? It's a bit sad, it's a bit depressing. Now we're going to get into the actual review. I just wanted to point this out before we get any further, because, quite seriously, I've heard quite a few people say this, and at one point, a few weeks ago when the DLC released, people were still complaining it was too hard. And it got a mixed review on Steam because of it, and I'm a big From Software fan. Okay, let's get back into the video before I start rambling for 10 minutes about how From Software fans are getting sillier and goofier. Now, what do I like about the DLC? The DLC is very challenging. It makes me want to slam my head into a brick wall a million times, like when I fought Radahn for 3 hours and 21 minutes. You know, the final boss of the DLC that everyone's saying is really hard because he is really hard? Yeah, I slammed my head into that wall for 3 hours and 21 minutes. A very difficult and arduous journey. This DLC is a refreshing level of difficulty, as every enemy may as well be Melania. As well as the fact that I love the new bosses. Midra is very sexy, and by saying that, I just mean the Frenzied Flame boss is very sexy, because Frenzied Flame needs more love. Frenzied Flame users, stop existing so I can hog all the Frenzied Flame, please. Let me have all the Frenzied Flame, I want it. Anyway, now that's out of my system. The DLC is very beautiful. It's a very beautiful DLC. I quite like a lot of the unique art aspects, such as the pots being tortured people put in jars, or, another thing, finger shrines with a big finger monster. Oh no! Difficult bosses that look like monsters? I'm very scared. I also like a lot of the weapons and the variety. However, if I were to get into the one thing that I mildly dislike about the DLC is that one or two, this is a very limited thing, that one or two of the locations are very barren. This is only one or two. A lot of the DLC has lots of loot everywhere. Literally, there is one or two locations where you just barely find anything for 10 minutes. That is my only gripe. Actually, that's a lie. I actually have another gripe. During Dancing Lion, I couldn't see what was going on because my camera was having a seizure. Yeah. That's a problem with, one or two of the bosses. Your camera tends to freak out when you're in a corner and the boss is trying to attack you. These aren't very big problems. This is literally a me problem for being so mid at the game. Oh yeah, and I also forgot to mention that the DLC only has 8 cutscenes out of the 20 bosses. That's my other gripe. But the DLC is very good. I would rate it 10 smackadoodles out of 20 dollary-doos, as the average British person would say. Very fun DLC, I would definitely recommend. And hey, if you are going to play any Dark Souls games, or any Souls games in general, I'd recommend playing Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne, Sekiro, and also Elden Ring. They're all very fun experiences, and this DLC is amazing. If this DLC came out 10 years ago, I would 100% play it. It's amazing, it's brilliant, and hey, guys, guess what? I beat the DLC in 50 hours. That is a very long time, considering the base game's about 80 hours long, or longer, depending. That is an amazing amount of time for a DLC, especially because the bosses are esteemed to be so hard by our precious Lord Miyazaki, who deserves no hate as he's so beautiful and loves the world, and he's only going to be making one more Souls game, I've heard, apparently. I don't know, this information's kind of silly. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the review. It's a very simple review, and hey, if you're new around here, please like, subscribe, and share. Please. I need it. I want to grow. Enjoy. Ta-ta, lovelies. And go follow these lovely folks. Bye! What? You thought I was actually going to end it? No, the DLC is way more expansive than that. I'm going to tell you my favourite weapons from the DLC. Yes, I'm a noble slender sword user, and this DLC added some more sexy weapons. The Sword of Night, or the Dark Katana, if you will, is a very beautiful katana. I'd say it's even better than the Uchi. That has a very cool Ash of War called Witching Hour, where you become anime character who's super cool and you slash everything up. I'll get Spiff to get gameplay of that on screen, but if he doesn't, that's his fault and that's not me. Another item I really like from the DLC has to be the Great Katanas, such as Rakshasa's Great Katana, or the Dragon Slayer's Katana. Very fun weapons which all have unique aspects. A lot of my favourite bosses are to do with art design, not really fight-wise. For example, I really like Mesmer and Midra and R'Vallana, for example. Very fun bosses. Now then, you esteemed Souls-like veterans who have stayed behind because you knew I wouldn't end the video. You knew it. You knew I wouldn't do it because I'm a fake-out artist called the Smithing Eater of Worlds, and I'm very sexy like that. A lot of my friends played this DLC, and they all said the same thing. The DLC is difficult. However, it's very fun. I just didn't want to pay the current cash price of it, as it was very expensive on release. I understand that. On release, it was very expensive, and Miyazaki even said that. But hey, we love experiences like this DLC, as it proves the real agenda of some people in the fanbase, who just want to complain when Elden Ring gets too hard. We all know that. Anyway. This is the real ending this time. I'm not going to do another fake out, because if I were to, I think I'd get shivved. Listen, I'm an Alexander and Patches fan, and if any people knew that I was a Patches fan, or an Alexander fan, or a Lionel fan, or any of the really cool characters like Solaire fan, I'd probably be stabbed and removed from the Souls game ecosystem because of my really spicy takes about certain quests and characters. Anyway, if you actually enjoyed this video, and you didn't expect the fake out, make sure to like, subscribe and share, and to tell lovelies, have a sexy, spiffy Elden Ring day. Bye! Have a nice day, guys. To tell lovelies, mwah!